You know I bring the pain. I bring devastating knockouts, and I can't wait to see what this fool body gonna do when I hit him on his face. When I hit him on the chin, when I hit him in the face, I try to punch through him. So I'm gonna grab his brain and I'm gonna bring it out of his head like a Mortal Kombat combination. A-B-A-C, A-B-B.
All right, so Tony Bellew tabs Wilder to wait for the Fury the Fury Joshua results before he makes the Fury deal. Former cruiserweight champion and Sky Sports pundit Tony Bellew is not fully confident that the rematch between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury will take place in February. At the moment, Fury is looking for a return date in October, with Jarrell Miller and Trevor Bryant being mentioned as potential opponents, and Wilder is likely back on a date in October or November in a rematch with Luis Ortiz. Last month, Ruiz dropped Joshua 4 times. Man, I'm tired of repeating that shit every time, fucking in every article. Before the contest was waved off in the 7th round, Joshua has since exercised an immediate rematch clause. Both Wilder and Ruiz, who holds the WBC world titles, are managed by Al Heyman and compete under the Premier Boxing Champions banner. Should Ruiz win, Bellew predicts Wilder will face him for a 5-belt unification in a fight. That's much easier to make sense to both men, who are handled by the same promotional banner. In the United States, Fury is contractually tied up to Top Rank, who has an exclusive content deal with ESPN. At this moment in time, no one will sign up to a rematch because people want to see how Ruiz and Joshua play out, said Bellew told the PA. Deontay Wilder will be waiting to see what happens, purely because Ruiz and Wilder fall under the Al Heyman promotional banner, and that will be the fight that will happen. Al Heyman will want there to be one champion, one face, and he will want that face to be Deontay Wilder. If Wilder gets to that position, he will run boxing world because he has the greatest prize in boxing, all 4 belts, a unified champion. So I don't think Wilder will be making any kind of move until he sees the Joshua Ruiz rematch. Unfortunately for Fury, I think Wilder will then back away from any rematch because he'll be in prime position to dictate the division. Tony Bellew is 1,000% correct. Speaking on the belts, speaking on the current state of the division, now that I truly think about it, even though Wilder said he wanted the rematch, and, Fury said the rematch would be taken February of 2020, if that is true, I didn't even sit there and think about it because of the fact, and I've been saying this, I said this, I made that video the day after, the fight happened. I said nobody thinks about the fact that Ruiz and Deontay Wilder under the same promotional banner. So if Andy Ruiz does win the rematch, on the flip side of the coin, then Deontay Wilder just easily, everything Deontay Wilder has done, from boosting his profile off Anthony Joshua's back to fighting the lackluster opponents and being in the position he's in, to Anthony Joshua losing and it falling right into the hands of the one person we didn't want them to fall into, this motherfucker right here, Al Heyman. The belts are actually going to be sitting there. So why not go ahead and do a unification next? So that's why all of the talks is rumbling a unification. They're not jumping anybody. The rematch is going to have to get done. They can't jump anybody. If they did jump somebody, they're going to have to deal with litigation out the ass anyway. There's going to be legal ramifications out the fucking ass if they did try to go with that undisputed match before the rematch clause even took place. So those type of rumblings, that shit didn't even come into my mind that would realistically happen at any given fucking point of my life. But in all fairness and truth to the boxing world, Deontay Wilder himself, this raggedy motherfucker has got to be either the dumbest nigga on the planet or absolute genius. I say that by saying this. If Andy Ruiz did win that match, this motherfucker's gonna get an undisputed match, become one face, one name, the one shit that we claimed he wasn't able to do, Motherfucker, if he does beat Andy Ruiz, even though I think Andy would floor his ass, but that's just me personally. You know, you have the right to think whatever you want. But if he did become one face, one fucking name, every video I fucking made saying everything I said about him, regardless of whether it's true or it's not, you will have the most fucking, we will have the first undisputed paper champion with no true authenticity to the sport of boxing as we speak. And then this nigga will have full control over all 4 sanctioning bodies. But to be perfectly honest, even though it's short-lived, and the IBF will make that motherfucker fight mandatory after mandatory, the WBO, you know what I mean, gonna make that motherfucker fight. I mean, but still, it's just the fact that he will make that point, and then do you honestly think Wilder fans are gonna fucking go just be silent about the shit? Absolutely not. These motherfuckers are gonna be talking out the side of my neck out the side of their neck, to my channel, his channel, hers channel, anybody else who believed in the true authenticity of the sweet science. They're gonna go at it because this motherfucker happens to have, let's just speak, you know what I mean, freely here. 5 belts. 5. A unified champion. This motherfucker right here, Deontay Wilder, if that happens, oh my God, I'm through with the circus, I'm through with the charade. Even though, mark my words, it would be short-lived because he would have to fight all of those mandatories. He's gonna have to fight every motherfucking hitter that comes along because those sanctioning bodies are gonna hit. But Tony Bellew was right. For him to go ahead and engage and sign any fucking contract because the money is gonna look good. The top rank is going to want to put together, and Al Heyman is going to make him put together. Because there is no way Al Heyman is ever going to sign a contractual agreement with Top Rank to do a match with Tyson Fury unless he's putting the bag up, especially with all the shit that Al Heyman done said about, especially with all the shit that Bob Arum done said about Al Heyman. Let's be 100% honest with ourselves here. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna tell you straight the fuck up. I cannot exist in the world with fucking CM Burns because a lot of y'all motherfuckers started cracking up at the fact that I called that nigga Mr. Smithers and shit. So I got it right for y'all today. This CM Burns looking motherfucker right here, Deontay Wilder, Ludabella Entertainment, and the PBC running the boxing world. Y'all aren't thinking of the severity of the shit because I absolutely am. Think about this shit. These motherfuckers are gonna be the face of boxing. And Lord knows I can't deal with these motherfuckers every day. And you would have to say, does that make Premier Boxing Championship, the Bellew Promotions, and Shelly Finkel and whatever his shit is called, Al Heyman, and just the PBC and Fox, does that make this regime the smartest team in boxing, or does it make him the luckiest one? Yeah, that shit just fucked you all the way up, didn't it? I'm gonna ask you again, does that make the PBC the smartest regime in boxing, or the luckiest one? The guys who only had to fight the likes of Gerald Washington, high blood pressure Luis Ortiz, get a belt gifted through him through fucking Bermain Stavern, sees that opportunity, fight fucking Chris fucking Areolas and shit like that. This nigga last name is literally a fucking woman's nipple. Fucking, not only that, squeezed by, get a fucking majority decision over Tyson Fury. He gets fucked out of the WBC. Fight a lackluster Dominic Brazil, and then go back and fight the fossil of the fucking fossil giant, Luis Ortiz. Land Before Time. The fight's gonna be called the Land Before Time fucking 3. Fucking the grumpier old men bout. You know what I'm saying? The what do they call it? Grudge match with Robert De Niro and goddamn Sylvester Stallone, I believe it is. That's some funny shit. Because I'm being all the way honest with you. We would have to say they're the luckiest and I ain't gonna call them the smartest fucking regime in boxing because they got all 5 of those belts and they stable, and they made a guy that should never even hold the honors of undisputed king fucking champion. So yes, Tony Bellew is absolutely right. Deontay should just wait it out, see what's going to happen with the rematch, and wait for the opportunity, because there is a chance that he could be in an undisputed match with Andrew Ruiz due to the fact that an absolute catastrophe. But will that happen? The world is yet to know. We have to see what's going on in the rematch, but I don't believe it's going to happen. This is the Two Hands Up Show. I am the boss. You know what it is. And as we always say, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no